I would think kid to kid, right? And with fellowship, we want the idea that they're responsible for each other, right? So if one kid's doing something wrong, can the other kids call them out on that, right? So some kind of relationship um, where they have the ability to call kids out if they see them find something wrong. That's part of fellowship, right? I think I might have just giving you one. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think the strategy
You're laughing. Any questions?
No, we're okay.
Okay, so far? Okay. A scarring experience. What's a scarring experience? What did you do?
Talking about how we need to choose Bible stories appropriate for each age group.
Yeah.
I was saying how we talked about Sodom and Gomorrah with little kids, and one of them made a very inappropriate comment about what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah that he should not have
One of
known.
the little kids.
And I had to be like, anyway.
Is he surprised that they know?
Yeah.
It's scary what they know.
Yeah, well, yeah. You never.
And that was the week before our coordinator said, anything weird happens, tell us in class. And
Yeah.
it really happens. I was like, never
The
mind.
little kids are hilarious with
Yeah.
they know. Oh, they know.
No filter.
No. Yeah. Oh no, it's amazing. So good. Any questions? How's it going?
I think that so we kind of had a good grip on the strategy and we're trying to figure out some of the aims that would kind of
Okay, so go back. Which one did I give you guys? Worship?
prayer.
Prayer. Okay, so what about prayer? So what are your what are the aims? Okay, what are the strategies first of all? You're saying you have strategies before aims? Is that what you're saying?
Something, yeah.
So,
So the strategy is to have them create a like a prayer relationship.
Okay.
You know, not relationship, but I said it earlier. You just can't.
Okay.
But like the idea is to help them develop praying, like
Yeah.
more on a personal.
But that's an aim. So but when you say more, so when you say develop a prayer relationship, what does that mean?
So what that means is developing is being comfortable with being able to pray, or not just in a communal sense, like reciting the general prayers, but being able to actually take that and pray not only for themselves but other people as well.
So are you talking about conversing with God, like how to talk to God?
Yes, yeah. It's through prayer. That's what we do. That's how
Yeah.
we can.
So if a good prayer, so one of the aims is that youth are comfortable praying for others. That's an aim,
That's it.
right?
Yeah.
So if an aim is youth are comfortable praying for others, what's a strategy that we can teach them to help them to pray for others? So aim one, we want youth to be able to pray for others. How are we going to teach them that? What's the strategy?
To think about some of the current problems their friends and themselves are facing.
So the strategy. So yeah, here, I'll help you out with this one. The strategy could be that before we pray every week, we're going to ask for prayer requests,
See, just took it right out of my
right? And so prayer request is a strategy that the kids can learn, and then on their own, when I'm in my room now, I'm ready to pray, I can start with driving prayer requests from like, and then I can start thinking of, oh, there's my mom's sister, or there's my this, or there's my that, and then that gets me. So that's a strategy that helps with the aim that'll reach the goal, that'll reach the vision. There you go. Got it? All right, there's one. Next one's on you guys. You had it. It was already there. You had it already. You got it.
And then we can ask for each other. Because genuine experience. Bible study?
No.
So another aim
Yeah.
Honestly, just any spiritual competition. If they're doing
But
like
how are we
some,
gonna get them to come? Well,
Leadership.
no, but like if they're already
Leadership roles.
get them to come, I don't know, but like in
Leadership roles?
What are leadership roles? What about them? What about leadership
I
roles?
think it's necessary to establish like our kids
I was
to
at
have
college,
like
no, but what if one of the other kids wants to be a leader? The other kid's leader.
but their
no,
high school is
that's
not
the
fourth
point of
graders.
leadership roles. Everyone has their own turn.
So what is that? So which one's yours again? Yours is fellowship. Okay, so leadership roles, that's an aim or strategy. Okay, and how does that help you? So if you
Because
get,
when you have a sense of leadership, you're able to lead your other friends to a better way. You have that. So,
What are the leader has going to
okay, so if you know leadership is an aim to help them with fellowship, what's the strategy?
the strategy of that is to give each person an opportunity to be a leader of something.
So I want them to be leaders because if they're leaders, they'll help with,
Like when we go out into the world,
yes,
okay, when you go out into the world and you talk to someone about your religion, okay, you basically need a leadership role in order to do that.
so leadership in the idea that it gives them like the tools to speak. Okay, if we break it down more, how do we give them tools to speak? So a strategy could be bring people in to help them with self-confidence. Is that something that we could do in order to build them into leaders? Is that one? I don't know. I'm trying to help out.
Some random stranger walked in and tried to give us a lesson in Sunday school about
It
self-confidence.
wouldn't be a random stranger. Yeah, maybe it has to be someone from within, right?
Yeah. Well, like they do that anyways. It's part of the curriculum.
Okay, how?
No, they just give lessons on it. Like they literally give lessons about self-confidence. Like we've had them,
Mhm.
and like, but like,
help?
no, no. Like I don't know. I feel like leadership makes
But it might
sense,
not
but
help
not
for
in terms
everyone.
of fellowship.
How is, yeah.
Leadership could be a strategy to help with an aim.
I like I see what he's saying where like even like in a classroom and stuff, like in a Sunday school class, like having any sort of leadership role in the sense that you can talk to them and encourage other people to show up to other events helps, but you can't actually teach that.
And then that's not really
Like-
leadership, that's like outreach. I thought. Like,
Yeah, but
bring
like-
other people.
No, I'm saying like if we have an event,
outreach service.
if we have an event
Mhm.
and like
Outreach is
you're
a-
usually gonna have like 3, 4 people in the class getting the rest of the people to come like from the class. Where like I guess you need some leaders in the class, but you can't really teach someone to be a natural like
But there are leadership classes where people learn to be leaders.
yeah, but you need a class to in terms of fellowship, it's kind of just like over time, I guess.
What's the purpose of the leader? No, for in this situation.
I had a different idea.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. When you're a leader,
Mhm.
you're able to talk to people and to encourage them to, follow like them and encourage them and like, like what is it called? To not debate them, but like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
Well, yeah, well, it is to debate. Like if they have a question, you're able to refute or you're able to argue.
To be able to debate them and like to be able to prove your point.
So how does it help with fellowship though?
Because fellowship is like leading them.
Fellowship, I don't know if fellowship is maybe I'm confused with your interpretation of fellowship because it's not wrong, it's just different than mine. I see fellowship as a group of kids who are responsible for each other. That's what I see as the view of fellowship. So we as a group of individuals, not kids, people, right?
So you can put that in my way.
You can. It works.
You can put that in my way.
You could say you need leaders to like have people accountable.
Yeah, because leadership brings accountability. So there it is, right? So if one of our aims is to build accountability within the group, creating a strategy is creating leaders who will then be accountable. So leadership is a strategy to help with making people accountable. It's a tough one, but it works. I don't know how you disagree.
I don't disagree.
Wait, then what? You look like you disagree.
I don't see it, but
Yeah, explain.
I don't know. I feel like when like leadership within a class at least or like a group of kids, like I don't know. It kind of just get to develop. So I feel like it's not really something you can teach in a way like we want to create leaders. Okay, we want to create
So,
leaders.
okay, so don't call it leaders, call it something else. So what do we call, if we're talking about accountability?
What if we think of the leaders as like problem solvers?
Not leaders, like some people are just like you remember when we talked about like the pyramid of like kids?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Realistically, the like highest level is gonna be usually the people that are getting the lowest level to come.
okay, so they're commissioned.
Yeah, the commission are gonna get the coming or
The community.
whatever, the community to come because like if we're talking like high schoolers or something, at least in our class, we have an event. Okay, you get like 5 people or so that like actually want to come, and then you convince the rest of the class, and that's how it goes. So I wouldn't say it's leadership; it's just fellowship built over time, and then you're just a group, and you're encouraging other people to come.
But if they're encouraging others to come, isn't that leadership?
Sort of. That's what I'm saying. You could call it leadership, but I don't know if that's something you can teach or just something that happens with time.
So then how about giving leaders opportunity to lead?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you talking about it from like a church, like directed perspective, or like at everything perspective,
What do you mean?
like society?
No, I don't understand.
Because I'm talking about it like from society perspective. You can have someone else, let's say like goes to the same school, right? I think the leadership role would be very important. Just like how Jesus, he was a leader.
Yes.
And he was able to get followers to join him,
Mhm.
right? So that's really what it is.
Hey.
Like if we could be like Jesus and have that leadership role, because that's how he got people.
Yes.
He was a leader, right? So I think we establish that in our kids. They can also get people to church. They can also get people to do the right thing.
So how does it fit into that?
Fellowship. That's what it is. No?
I'm trying to help. I don't know. I got nothing.
How is the leader gonna bring fellowship? Anything is gonna cause fight.
No, you wouldn't cause divide. No, the idea of the leader is to bring people together.
I think people don't like the idea of like
Yeah.
leaders. Like fellowship's kind of just like everyone. Like the idea everyone holds everyone accountable, not one person holds the group accountable.
I have brought. No, we're talking about fellowship, like our aim is vision is fellowship, and we want to think of 3 aims and 3 strategies. We so far we have
yeah.
established and it's like sports days and outings just to like get them together. And then the second one is spiritual connection, and I wrote down like services they can all do together, the food bank, which like I don't know, just looking back at my own personal
Yeah.
with my friends.
So that's the strategy to get to that aim. Perfect. Yep.
And then third one, leadership. I don't know.
Leadership. We're starting with leadership.
I was thinking outreach. If you have an outreach service,
Yeah.
and you just bring people that don't come at all, and maybe they can find friends.
But you need leaders to outreach.
There, we can put leaders in outreach.
There you go.
Figure it out. Yeah, we're getting there.
So we have
Let's say you would call.
Hello, Father. I was saying I got your email. I couldn't respond. You Tuesday or something? Monday, Tuesday?
I say it too because I didn't say I accidentally sent it out.
Yes, that was great.
I wasn't finished and I said, you know what? I didn't care. It was 200 letters.
Yes, fine. Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, but I tried to respond. I can't respond to it. But yeah, it's so pretty the way that it's organized. So nice.
Yeah, because these are just
Yeah, it's so
they
nice.
have to stay on that focus.
Yeah.
Traditionally,
Uh-huh.
even in
Yeah.
Thessalonica,
Yes.
it's there. That is Thessalonian or even Ephesian, one of those.
Yeah.
You are not in this tradition. Also, then I'll promote it.
And that's why you make those videos from last week. Fine, fair, no problems. How are you guys doing? Done? Okay, good. You guys done or not yet?
We're almost there. We're on the third.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll give you okay. Okay, I'll give you another couple minutes to wrap up, okay? The online, do they have something or no?
There's gonna be my debut. It's coming up.
What's that?
I picked up the team. It'll be my first time to preach in congregation.
Uh-huh.
So the strategy for highlighting the importance of the soul first.
Yeah. Yes.
All these things That is a very important.
Oh, so important.
Only
Yeah.
gets that point.
Seek ye first.
The kingdom of God and His righteousness.
Yes.
Because we hate there. But you look at that verse, we just condensed it.
Mm.
To understand.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because the kingdom of God is so far and big.
Yeah. No, you can't. Impossible.
So He shortened it
Yeah.
for us to understand.
Yeah.
Righteousness is still on the earth.
Yeah.
Right on the earth, right? That even there is some above us.
Yeah.
It's you and me, there's above.
So when are you doing your talk? When is it going to be?
Oh, right, we're talking about. I already talked to the Reverend priest.
Yeah.
And he's talking to the professor. Actually, kasi Barato is a professor.
Uh-huh.
He deals with the captain.
Oh.
That's why I didn't take mine off.
So he review first.
Uh-huh. Oh, good. Good review.
We
I picked up a good foundation.
picture,
Foundation is the ark.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep.
People even forget that.
Yeah, no, you have to have a strong foundation. It's where, yeah, it's what carries you.
Building a house.
Yeah, 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 yep.
Solid.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, sure. Okay. Let's go through. By the way, I came prepared today. I actually wore a thermal layer, just so that you all know, because it's always freezing in here. So today I'm like, no, not this time. I'm going to do it right. So I'm actually not freezing for the first time ever, which is a big plus for me. I remembered. All right. So who found it easy? Not so much. Yeah. But how? What if you do this? It does help us really direct our focus sometimes, right? It is a neat activity, right? So we'll start with you guys. Go ahead. So yours was what?
Fellowship.
Okay. So if fellowship is the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
So for our first game, we wanted to establish a genuine connection with like in between the kids, just so the kids have a foundation for their friendship, and it's not only spiritual or like just because they see each other and interact. We're thinking sports days and just outings, like with small group outings with their servants, and then actually get the kids to enjoy being with one another instead of just being with one another. If they have to, or they're there at the same time.
Yep.
And then,
so the strategy is the outing.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then the aim is to get them to actually build connections with each other. Perfect.
The second one was spiritual connection, because I think it's very important that the kids keep each other accountable. If they know what they're supposed to be doing spiritually, and they see their brother falling or their sister not doing the right thing spiritually, they should bring each other back up. So for that one, we did for a strategy. We did introducing new services, for example, for the kids. For example, food banks or a homeless service. So they service uplifts the soul. So when they do it together, I think they all get closer to Christ and get closer to each other at the same time. And for aim number 3, we did outreach, because some people just don't show up, or they don't think they have friends or a group at church. So for that one, strategy, we struggled a bit, but I think we decided on having leadership roles within the kids, and not use the leaders, but ask them to try bringing people that they know like might not come as much to come to the services, and just introduce them to the friend group, and then hopefully when they get introduced, they do aim 1 and 2.
Amazing. Very good. Thank you. No, that is excellent. Okay, next group. Oh yes. Okay, next group is this one here.
Okay, so we had teaching. So our first aim was knowing the events of the Bible, and then like a sub aim is dividing it into Old and New Testament, and a strategy would be starting with popular stories for each age group so that they just familiarize themselves with the Bible. The second aim is understanding the context, author details, and how it connects to the gospel. Strategies would be a Bible study and group discussion. And then the third aim is application, how to live out the gospel, and how is the Bible significant to us today. And strategies would be discussing how to live out the gospel and how to apply it through conferences, meetings, where people who have served others or outreached or had a mission with others who like are able to have experiences showing the gospel through action come and teach the people. That's
Thank you. So what are the three aims?
the three aims are knowing the Bible, understanding the Bible, and applying the Bible.
Excellent. And the strategy is good. And again, one thing I wanted to say before we move on is like once they're written down, doesn't mean they're written in stone. Yeah, these can always change. If it's not working, you can adjust the aims or the strategies, right? Or even the vision, right? The vision tends not to change, but all of these really are like the mission never changes, right? We have the mission stays the same. Well, for us, we're making disciples. The rest of it we can change and modify with time if necessary. All right. Last group.
Yeah, so our vision statement was providing our youth with a stronger prayer relationship with God. And then our aim one was helping the youth feel more comfortable praying for others. And the strategy for that was asking for prayer requests before, I guess, prayer time. Our aim two was to develop a community around prayer. And the strategy we came up for that was organizing prayer groups for our youth so that our youth have communal prayer time. And then our last aim was focused more on solo prayer time. So just highlighting the importance on solo prayer time. And the strategy for that was just allocating quiet solo prayer time before every session.
Amazing. So the three aims again?
Right?
What are the three aims?
Having the youth more comfortable praying for others, developing a community around prayer, and highlighting the importance of solo prayer time.
Right. Thank you. Does the online group have anything or no? If not, it's okay. Okay, no worries. All right. Okay, so you see how it's some of those parts of it is easy, right? Harder than some parts are harder than others, but it really does focus what we're doing, right? And if we're creating a curriculum, if we're developing a curriculum for a class or a grade, right, or a K to 12, you can say you can take all of these and really build a very strong curriculum that'll hit all five of our teaching strategies that we're trying to do, or all five of our things that we're trying to achieve, right? And it really gives us, and you will fill your curriculum very quickly if you start with something like this. Because sometimes when we're trying to build curriculum, we run out of things, or we don't know what to do next, or we're not sure what to do, right? But if I start with a year and I put in the feasts, and I have to do like this, it'll fill very quickly, right? With some very useful things that really help us help our kids. Yeah, makes sense? It is kind of powerful. And again, I keep talking about servant retreats, right? This would be great for servant retreat, right? Any questions? Before recreation, we're going to spend a little bit of time on recreation just because I want to have some fun. This is chapter 7 in the book, and we do recreation fairly well. I'm going to say recreation for us is, the idea of sporting events. Maharagan is a fantastic recreational activity where the kids learn the Bible and they do sports and they do things. You can also do recreation for teaching. And what time is it now? Yeah, we're gonna play a game. All right, you may know it. You can be what we'll do. Should we do 3 teams? Let's do 3 teams. Team 1, team 2 is only 3 of you. That's okay. And team 3. All right. Each of you choose one spokesperson. We'll be able to answer the question. All right. Choose a spokesperson now. We're gonna do some questions. Who's how to play this game? Anyone played before? Jeopardy, have you played before? Very simple, I ask you questions. You have to answer in the form of a question. Yeah? All right. So, we're not going to play the whole game. We'll just go for a little bit, just for fun. All right. Here's his categories. The Old Testament. Which gospel? First. Miracles. Coptic Church. All right. Oh, sorry. And memorization. I missed one. My bad. I think this I did from my youth group. I can't remember. I have like 5 of them. I just picked one. This may be the youth group one. I don't even know. So the way it works, if you don't know, is there's dollar value. We're going to each you all. You're all going to keep your own dollar value. If you get it right, you get that money. If you get it wrong, you lose that amount of money. All right. And they're supposed to get harder as you go down. It's also a daily double. Daily double. If you get that one, you can bet up to double your current your current earnings, whatever you have. All right. I have a number from 1 to 10. What is it? Who's your spokesperson? Wrong. Wrong. I have a number from 1 to 10. Yes. Of course it's 7. It's always 7. Always 7. So you guys get to go first. And we're going this way. All right. So pick a category and pick a dollar value. A category, dollar value. Go ahead. So one of the categories and a dollar value. Abuna. Oh, we're playing a game and Abuna walked in. Now we're in trouble. Abuna, I guess Abuna is joining that team. There you go. We'll see how the timing goes. We'll give each team maybe 2 guesses. We'll see how it goes. So, so pick one, a category and dollar value. Go ahead. Okay, and for how much? $100. Also, $100. All right. Okay, I'm going to set a time where you have 30 seconds to guess. 30 seconds to guess. 30 seconds to guess. All right. Just so you know. 30 seconds to guess. Okay, ready? Here's your question. The church existed from this time as a place where men dwell with God. The church existed from this time as a place where men dwell with God. What's your answer? It's that team. The church existed from this time. From what time? 10 seconds. Nope. Okay, time's up.
How many chances do you get to answer?
Yeah,
Is it 100?
this is 100. Guys, I'm not going to allow stealing. We're just going to move on. From the beginning of time. The beginning of time. Always. I would have taken always. I would have taken always. Oh, hold on. No, okay. Choose. 500? Yeah, Miracles 500? Okay, we're going big. Here we go, Miracles 500. Let me get my timer ready. Here's your question. This person made the sun stand still. You find an answer? That means you're minus 500, by the way. I mean, we're not doing stealing. Nothing stealing. Okay. Back table. Oh.
We have the verse proof.
I don't have the verse proof. Okay. What are you sure? 100? Here's your question. Is it 100 or 500? 500. Oh, it's a very double. You have no money. Okay, so it's 500 then. Can you double it? Is that how it works? I don't even know. But remember, if you bet it, you lose it too. So if you bet 1,000, you lose 1,000. You win 1,000? Here we go. Name the location of the first Coptic church in North America. First Coptic church in North America.
Okay. What is St. Mark's Church's sign?
I will accept that, yes. Yep, St. Mark's Church in Toronto. Okay. What's that? No, it's Toronto. First North America. St. Mark's in Scarborough was the first church in North America. With the Bunamoros. Yep. Bunamoros was the first Bunamoros was the first priest. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, you guys, one more round. Gospel 200. Here we go. Here's your question. The Sermon on the Mount is found in which gospel? Just the gospel. Which gospel is it? Which gospel? Correct. Matthew. Answer is Matthew. Good job. All right. Okay. There you go. 20 points. $20. What do you say? Which one? Which gospel? 500? Okay. Oh. The Great Commission. Oh no. The Great Commission is found in this gospel. I did. If you don't know, I failed as a teacher. I'm just saying. What's your missing loud? Guys, what is the purpose of youth ministry? To make disciples. Where's that found? The Great Commission, Matthew. Good stuff. All right, last one, then we're moving on. Oh, I have to go to the home screen. I forgot. Home screen. Miracles 300. 300? You sure you have 1,000 guys? Here's your question. Oh, sorry, bad one. Let me go back. Bad. Hold on. Doesn't count. No. It doesn't. No. Go back. I'm trying to. Doesn't count. Miracles 300. The pool of Bethesda is known to be beside which passageway? Hey. Final answer? It's the wrong answer. What is the sheep gate? The sheep gate. I'll show you that. I spelled memorization. This was the memory. I spelled it. That is the. Yes, but you didn't get that one, so too bad. Okay, there you go. There. So anyway, recreation. There are different ways of having fun, and again, we do a great job of recreation in that we play soccer, we send them out for things. This is just a fun way. If you're having like a party for the kids, if you're doing if you're doing any kind of activity, we do this at at our Christmas parties, for example, things like this. What's the problem with this? It can get very competitive. It can get we do with the youth, but it's with the youth it's actually traumatic because they get so competitive, right? And we have to make sure our facts are right because there's been times where I've made mistakes, and you get called on, and then it's a disaster, right? So you can choose. So what this is, just so that you know, this is a template, right? And you can go in and you can fill in anything you want. Yeah. So here's his category. So this you can go in and you can change it to whatever you want, right? So you can go in, and so I've done 4 or 5 of them, right? Based on age, based on what we're doing, right? You can do a Christmas theme, you can do an Easter theme, you can do it based on kids. It'll take some time, right? To set up a full game takes about an hour, if not longer, because you're actually figuring out questions, and they have to actually get harder with the designation. It's actually it's a template that I got from someone many years ago that I just used. I have another one for Family Feud as well, right? Which is also kind of fun, right? So then just an idea for recreation that you can do a class, half an hour usually isn't long enough for these, right? They usually go longer than that. It also has it has 2 rounds if you really want. It has a Final Jeopardy. Do I have the Final Jeopardy somewhere? But there's Final Jeopardy. No, we're not playing anymore. We're done. Sorry, guys. There's other things we got to do. All right. Yeah, I can. It's a large file. So you tell me how I can give it to you. I've done it in the past, and you guys can take it. It's a few meg because of all the data in it. Yes, I do. I haven't yet. No. Okay, if I can download it to Moodle, I will. Then you'll all have access, right? I'll give you. I have. I think I have the template by itself. So there's round 1, there's round 2. I think the template might just be. Oh no, so I've used the template as well. But again, you can go in and you can change it, right? But yeah, you can see here the template, category 3 questions, category 4, 100 questions. Yeah, this is the template. So you do the different categories, and then it tells you for category 2, here's the questions for it, and you just go in and you change this to whatever you want, right? And then it'll populate the table. Get it? All right, there you go. So that's the recreation. It's a fun way to teach something, and just have a fun way of doing it. Any questions about that? Okay, moving on. We talked about models of ministry 2 weeks ago, right? The 10 different models, remember them all, right? These were them. We talked about the incarnational model, family-based model, event-based model, Bible-based model, encounter, collective, mentor, student-led, small group, and mission. And we realized that they're all good, and they all have aspects that are good. And the idea is that we can take aspects of all of them and use those to help in our curriculum, to help creating a curriculum. Yeah, right? We want to talk about today, moving forward, and this is in chapter 4, I believe, of youth ministry design, is a balanced design. All right, a balanced design. And a balanced design basically means that if you take any one thing and emphasize on that one, that a positive can become a negative if it's all you're ever doing, right? For example, if I decide that it's great, when we talk about hooks, if every single hook I do is music, that'll eventually get boring for the kids, right? You want to choose different hooks. You want to choose different things and change it. You want to be a balance between the things you do. And the design balance, there's different designs that we want to talk about, and they're all triads, all right? And this is in chapter 6, so page 83 in design. And a triad is 3 things. That's what a triad is, yeah? And it goes through all these different triads, right? It talks about a directional triad, a developmental triad, a biblical triad, a maturity triad, group dynamics, leadership, and interaction triad, right? And I'm going to ask you, as we've done before, to explain it to the group, all right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can we do 7 groups? Is that possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So I'm going to put you in groups of 2. I'll give each of you one of these. And basically what I want you to do is go through the triads, right? And give us a brief description of the triad. What is what it means. All right. So the first 2, you guys can do directional. All right. Then developmental. Can you join over here with Father? And do biblical. All right. And then you guys can do maturity. Next 2 can do the group dynamic. All right. I think that's, where am I? 2, 2, and you 2? Do the next one. Is that right? Where am I? Which one are you doing? Are you doing yet?
Maturity.
Maturity. Okay, you're doing group. Okay. Group. See if you can do 2. All right. See if you can do leadership and interaction triad. All right. So just a brief description of the different triads.
worship. It's just like emphasizing that more than just like singing, and then when you emphasize that, you end up with service with passion towards towards God. And then another direction is inward focus. So that's like during the Bible study, like we'll emphasize on that, like how the Bible study read our stories and things that we can like take from it and learn about ourselves through the scriptures. So that's how you end up with a ministry where there's like power in the things you read and there's power in their faith and things like that. And then the third is the outward focus. So that's when you kind of emphasize that like we're on this earth to spread and like your faith isn't just in Sunday school, but it's also out in the world, in your schools, in whatever services like you do homeless service, things like that. So emphasizing that we're on this world to do things more than just our social practice. So that's how you end up with a class with like purpose. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Gentlemen's Triad.
You skip me for a sec?
Sure. Okay, who's next? Yep. Biblical Triad.
So like for biblical, the three things kind of go in steps. The first one's proclamation of the scripture. So it's just like actually hearing and like giving the lesson. Interaction would be like the kids actually thinking through what their thoughts and stuff on the lesson are, and then application is what they're gonna do with it. So proclamation is just that the scripture is presented to them by someone that's qualified to do so. It's presented to them in a creative way and preferably in multiple ways so that all the different kids can understand it. The biggest thing is that you have to be careful of inaccuracy also because you're giving facts on the scripture, you're not actually giving them your opinion on it. Even with social topics, you have to refer to the scripture because the idea is that you always teach what the scripture is saying. The second one's interaction with the scripture. So just how does it connect to the kids' lives? So just always give time to discuss after giving a lesson, even if it's a straightforward lesson, because even if they understand it and it may be true, people remember and learn better when they talk it through. Make places a safe space to have debates if you disagree, but also make sure that if you don't know, you refer to someone that does know so that back to number one, you're not giving anything inaccurate. And then the last one is application of the scripture. So just what can the kids do? So number one, the teachers must lead by example, because if you're giving a lesson and you're telling them what to do and they see their servant doing something else, it's not really going to work. All lessons must include life applications that the kids can try to apply. We have to hold them accountable. So just if you have something for them to do, make sure you ask about it the week after, just so that, and everyone does that. You can text on the group chat if you have one or something. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we talked about the hook, the book, and the took when it comes to Bible stories and all lessons, but this kind of takes that into account. Yeah. Thank you. So yours is the maturity triad.
Yeah, the maturity triad. So, I better put my glasses on. So for the unborn, they are not fully aware of Christianity. They're still in the beginning stages. The risk is stagnation, and also they could get lost and lose interest easily. For the newborn, it's a stage of growth. The risks are separation. They could fall away and lose their faith. The old born, mature Christians, they are growing Christianity with others. The risks are becoming non-consistent and superficial Christians by title and not by action.
So we have the newborn, the unborn, newborn, and old born. And those link a little bit to something we talked about earlier. What do those link to kind of in our classes? When we talk about our different people that are coming to class. right? Yeah, or when we talked about our pyramid,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can loosely link this to our pyramid of what are the 4 stages in the pyramid? Well, yeah, what are they? So that's over the C. Community,
Community.
coming, committed, commissioned, right? And so you can loosely tie these into that pyramid as well, right? And where do the kids in your class fall in here and in the pyramid, right? The group dynamics chart.
So it's about three groups. Like first, the love group. It makes them feel like they are belong to something big, and they are makes them feel as well they are not the only one participating in this group, like camp or concert or. And the small group, it's makes them feel that they are contributing, and that like the Bible study or gathering for prayer makes them feel like they are participating in that, and they are accepted as well in that group. But the one who are not able to participate in the bigger group because for whatever reason, and or the small group, there's something, it's like a individual dynamic, and that's make him feel like he's valuable and cared for. And I like kind of it could be like outreach for individual person.
Thank you. So large group, small group, and individual. Thank you. Okay, you guys have 2 to do, right? So you're doing the leadership triad and the interactional triad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The leadership triad's kind of like a structure of leadership. So it goes from the youth leader to the youth leadership team to the youth. And youth leader is kind of like we think of like the coordinator. Youth leadership team would be like the servants, and then the youth would be the youth. So for the youth leader, they're accountable and responsible for the pastoral care of the youth leadership team. And they have the freedom to create vision and direction in their youth ministry, but they're also subject to the church's teaching. So they have to make sure that they and youth leadership team abide by that. And then if the youth leader doesn't do their job, then there's a lack of direction in the ministry because they're not enforcing, I guess, the direction. Then you have the youth leadership team, which are the servants, and they're accountable to also the pastoral care and the vision, but they can contribute a lot, but the final say, I guess, or the approval would go through the youth leader. And if they don't participate, there's a lack of diversity, especially in thought, because if they don't contribute to their youth's, what they think their youths need, then the youth leader wouldn't necessarily know. And then you have the youth, which are accountable to the youth leadership team or the servants, and they can contribute to what they think would be best for them or what they would want. And if they don't contribute, it equals a lack of devotion or commitment because there's a sense of like what I'm saying or what I feel doesn't matter in the service, so I don't need to be devoted to it.
Thank you.
Okay, so the last one is the interaction triad, and it's basically interactions with parents, the wider church, and other youth groups. So the one with parents, it basically talks about having the interaction between the parent and the kid. And it includes things like including the parents within some of the activities that we hold. Lack of this, so not doing this would mean that we don't understand that the parents do have a great influence on the child's life, and so including them would actually be beneficial. The second one, so including the church. So this one talks about facilitating interactions between people in the wider church as well as our kids. And this can be shown by serving the church. And without this, the kid might actually have isolation feelings or feeling like they don't belong in the bigger community. And then the last interaction, it talks about the interactions with other youth groups. So this basically is the interactions with us and other youth groups. So combining activities within other youth groups. And without this, the kids might actually have a lack of interest in the interactions.
And we do like again, Maharagan is a great way to do interaction with other churches, with other youths. We do a good job with interactions amongst the youth. The parent one is one that we tend to struggle with, getting parents involved. And it could be a function of size. I don't know. Like in a smaller church, maybe easier to have trips or activities with parents. But just a thought, right? And we've done this with our younger groups, and we want to start doing with our older groups. The idea of having family trips, right? And we do family retreats, right? But like family trips where we're going apple picking, right? Let the whole family go. Why not? Why just bring the kids, right? So when you're planning activities and field trips and things, always ask the question, could this be a family trip? And you find that the families actually love them because then the adults interact with each other, and they tend to have kids who are similar in age. So it is something that we really should do more of, is what I would say. And when we've done it, and we don't do it often, when we have, it's been very powerful. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be good for maybe maximum grade 6. More than that, it depends.
Yeah, and it's funny because we have family retreats where the older kids will go, but we tend to have them separated, right? So you'll have family retreats, and you separate the kids from the parents.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Has anyone ever tried so the trips that I've done with the families, it's been, I think grade 5 was the oldest for the kids. We haven't tried older, but I wonder, has anyone tried a family trip with older kids? You have? Oh, really? And what was it?
It was, since I'm a lot older than high school, they had the parents and kids together.
Okay.
And it was just one big talk.
And was it a trip or was it a
It was a very small group from different churches. They had a family retreat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 30, 40 families.
And it was good?
Yeah. The little kids were separated.
Yeah.
Very, very young ones.
Uh-huh.
Maybe grade 3 and down.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit down and
But the older ones.
We went to Clifton Hill all together.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a spiritual. It was like more like go on a trip.
Yeah.
Like we'll have a meeting at the end of the day or the day.
So you're in Niagara, Clifton Hills with your parents. Yeah. And it went okay? It was good? Yeah. I depending on the activity. So like we've done that. So like my son plays hockey. We went on a hockey tournament, and the family went to Clifton Hills together. But it was through hockey. It wasn't through church. But why not? Right? There is something to be said about. I'm not going to say forcing it, but forcing youth to spend time with their parents in an activity. There, it happened once. I think we can do it more. Yeah.
So we need to take the opinion of the kids, you're not small groups, like if you do like Sunday school class, because like by then the parents usually already know each other, at least some of them, so it wouldn't be like an awkward interaction of people that have never met each other.
Yeah.
And the parents would be way too happy to do it.
When we've done it, it's the parents have been excited, they've loved it, but the kids were younger, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if the parents started going out with the kids in the younger age, for example, like grade 3 or 4 or 2. So the parents will know each other, and the kids growing up, they will not be feeling shy that their parent is other parents and all this one. They already
They already know.
They are younger and they go high, like older with that. I think it would be great, but I don't think there is something. There is a family trips. Teenagers are like going with their parents. They don't like them. But like, no. Like, I'm not gonna fix it by having them do it when they're younger. But imagine when the parents knowing each other, like they're gonna be friends. I feel like when the parents become with other kids' parents, I think it would be nice. Because sometimes the kids, when they are teenagers, they don't find friends or closer friends.
No, I lost you. Say more. What do you mean?
So, sometimes with the busy life, I'm not talking about the majority. I'm talking about the minority of some kids who don't find difficulty to find close like friends. Okay, for that type of friends, other in trips.
Mhm.
They know each other, so they meet each other often,
Uh-huh.
and we kind of make the relation tied with the other friends.
Okay, yes.
You know, that's my point.
Yeah, you're right there. You know that I had a friend, same thing. So good. I can see the kids, they play with the other family.
Uh-huh.
And then the same thing, Berta, my friend, like the family, they get together and then at the Christmas, we go together, we will
Yeah.
invite us.
It becomes like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
actually starting with young people.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so I think you're right, but if we haven't started with young age, it's never too late to start. Like I don't want to say we've never done it before, so we're not going to. Like I think it's still yeah.
Like,
Combined.
I go church with family,
Yeah.
but not with the same age.
Mm.
Not with the same age. As a high school student, I wouldn't care if we did one. I'm not gonna tell them. I feel like you guys underestimate how much we dislike our parents. Like, I'm not saying I feel more comfortable with experience. I understand what you're saying. I mean, we don't need to go in higher school, like in high school. Like, for you will find a closest friend. Yeah. When you get together as a family, your family, and
Mhm.
for example, like make them family friends.
Yeah.
I don't need to go with you later on. Like, I already know that you have a close friend, and I know your friend. So that's it.
They're just two different purposes. Like you're trying to get them to make friends, and we're trying to make sure that the kids and the parents interact.
Yeah. They need a break. It's a trip for the parents as well when you're gone.
Like I promise you, mom was happy.
Yes.
Some of my kids are older, they don't even want to join with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
they're shy, they're
Uh-huh.
embarrassed if I go with them, they're friends.
But it's never a bad idea to organize a trip where parents and kids go together. Somewhere at Clifton Hill, somewhere where it's a day where they can go and spend the time. And sometimes what is happening is the parents get together and the kids get together. And even that, there's something in that where the parents, again, we're building community, right? Yeah. Hmm.
Back home, we don't need because we're relative, right?
Yeah.
But here, the kids, like, I really good idea, and actually the service started putting the trips for their age 2 or 3. That's
Hmm. And we've been doing that. We do that quite often with the little kids because it's easy. Instead of having to get a bus and whatever, okay, bring your car, we'll meet you there, we'll have a trip and you drive your kids home. It's actually easier when they're much younger. You have to worry about car seats and boosters and vitamin A and all this business, right? It's easier. But yeah, doing with older kids, I think there's also a huge benefit. We have one more. What was developmental triad? Okay, go ahead.
So, there's 3 different developments.
Oh.
So there's 3 different developments. There's social, emotional, and spiritual. So basically for social development, interaction with young kids, young people are important.
Really good. Okay.
Interaction with young people are important. So like, for example, like basically, if you're not having fun, okay, in a social way, you're not having fun and there's no laughter or there's no like sense of like a good feeling, you don't really want to be there.
Mhm.
So social is very important. Recreational activities is an example of it.
Yep.
And also connecting with your peers could be part of the social development basis. Yeah, I just find social as a very important thing because if you can't get laughter like inside the church or inside the service, then kids will be looking somewhere else for that laughter or for that fun. So that's very important. Emotional development. So for emotional development, counseling issues, the kids basically need to be cared for, right? So if they don't get care, then they won't really listen to you in a way because they know you don't care about them. So they need to feel that sense of caring. One-to-one follow-up counseling is very important. With truth and love while you're doing it. Those are the two big aspects we must involve in our counseling in order to feel cared for. And yeah, just talking about, like things they're uncomfortable with, things that, will make your relationship with them feel like it's cared for. Last but not least is spiritual development. Spiritual development. So through Bible study, prayer, and worship, Bible study, like, a regular basis, make them get used to reading the Bible, how to interpret the Bible. Prayer is very important. Has to be it can be like an all together thing, and also it must be a more private thing too. It's not only like an all together thing. Having a one-to-one relationship with God is very important, and that's why it also must like have like a private part to it. And if you don't have spiritual development, then all the other developments that I just explained is useless. Yeah, so there's no life to it. It's useless. But like that's it.
Thank you. All right. So, thanks so much. So you can see all the different triads and how the balance is important. And if you leave one out, there is a gap that can cause harm, right? So we have to make sure that we look at these different things and really look at the balance of the three. Moving on, it's 10 to 5. I was gonna take a break, but we had a break kind of in the middle, sort of, when we were playing with the computer. So if we can I just want to move through that, we would finish on time. Is that okay? If you need a adult model, if you need to go, just go and come back. All right. If you need to take a break. All right. I just want to, because I don't want to fall behind. Yes. Oh, how do I do that? Okay, let me see here. One sec, guys. Oh, hold on. This one here?
No, you can close that.
You close this completely. Chrome. Okay.
And then go to that one. And then at the bottom here, share. And then you want to share PowerPoint? Or
Yeah.
You want to share
This is the PowerPoint. That's it. Okay. Share. There we go. Okay. Away from current slide. Okay. So chapter 5 in programming, we'll go through this fairly quickly. Chapter 5 in programming, we talked about prayer and praying, and we prayed, if you remember last week, right? Evangelism, I wrote something down here. The idea of evangelism and helping our kids to evangelize. Oh, what's happening? Oh. In youth ministry, we're working with an age group that is rapidly losing the openness to the gospel that seems to exist with children. All right. We are, like, when you're doing youth ministry, so not the younger kids, but youth ministry, you have to be very, very careful, because that's where we tend to lose the bulk of our kids. Right? You have to be very, very careful with your youth. All right. I just wanted to put that out there, something that is important. And again, when you talk about evangelism, you start with the Bible. All right. Page 66 in youth ministry programming. Can you go to page 66 really quick in youth ministry programming? Yeah, youth ministry programming, right? It's a little scale that we've done a few of them before, right? Yeah, page 66 in youth ministry programming. Right? It just talks about what we do with ourselves, right? I'm not gonna go through all of them. I highlighted 3 of them. I just want to talk about really quick, and then we'll move on. My standards of personal purity are evident to the people I regularly come in contact with. When I'm dealing with youth, right? They can see and they know, right? And we talked about this very early on, the very first week. We talked about how we as servants are held to a higher standard, right? And we are on all the time, not just on Sunday or on Saturday when we're in Sunday school. You know, we're on Friday nights, we're on Wednesday during the day, we're on at school, we're on at work, right? And are we, like that says, right? My standards of personal purity are evident to the people I regularly come in contact with, right? And remember, your youth have access to all your social media, they have access to all your posts, they have access to everything. If they did a deep dive, what would they find? Keep that in mind, right? What would they find, right? Because it's super important, right? And if they look up to you as their youth leader, right, you have to be held to a higher standard. Because for youth, you know, that 13 to 19 age, it's quite easy to lose them, right? And if they had an idea of you, sorry, my voice is doing funny things. If they had an idea of you, and that idea was broken from something that they saw you do, right? It could have a profound effect. Give me a second. I was saying I had my little kids in Sunday school today. Then I did the SAPs, and this is my 3rd talk, so my voice is not lasting. I'm almost done talking. The next one, I look for opportunities to be involved in genuine acts of service to those I am in contact with. You serve your kids. You find ways to serve them. You serve and involve them in a service. Something to keep in mind. And the final one I have here is, in evangelism, I am willing to take risks in talking with people and praying for them. All right? I've done this before. Do you pray for your kids by name? Your Sunday school kids? Sorry. And you really should. But yeah, read the evangelism section. I am kind of hurrying because we have an activity that we want to do that I have to give you time to do. But just look at evangelism and what it means and what it does for your kids. I told you to read the camping one. That's in programming. Chapter 8 in youth ministry program. Anyone here ever camp with the kids in Sunday school? Anyone do camping? I never have. I know in the past people have. There is a group in St. Mary's of guys that do scouts. I know it's gotten quite big. Is this still happening? Yeah. And who runs it? But I know that's it's actually not old new anymore, but it's quite a big group. I've never done it. I don't know. It's in there. It's not camping's not the Egyptian way. I don't know, but you know, think of it as an idea. It's kind of fun. I've camped before. It's kind of cool, but something to think of as an interesting way to do some kind of mission or retreat. Take that as you will. All right. I want to move on to a little bit of a final assessment that I want you guys to do. All right. Only because my voice is starting to fail. But I'm going to ask you to do something for me. We talked about lesson prep. I'm going to put you in groups of 2 and give you time to give us a mini lesson. I'm going to give you a lesson and I want you to prepare one for me, following those. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand these out. This says hook, look, book, and took. And as you give your lesson, I want your lesson to be 5 minutes, maybe 8, so it'll be short. But I want the people who are listening, the audience, to be able to fill this out, to know your hook, your book, your look, and your took. Get the idea? So we're going to do. So groups of 2. All right, and I'll give you maybe 15 minutes to do to prepare your lesson, and then 8 minutes to present it. I will tell you. If you don't like, you can change it. There's no real. If you like the age I give you, you can change it. All right. Groups of two. Do you have your group of two? Okay. Here we go. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. Group of two. Group of two. Where are you sitting? Okay. Group of two. Wait a second. Let me do this again. Fine. Group of three. Group of three. Group of three. We'll do it that way. All right. Yeah, the three of you. Yeah, because she's not here. Yeah. So 3, 3, 3, 2, and 2. All right. Here we go. I'm going to give you topics. Here's your topics. First group, you two. You're doing obedience for grade 12s. Grade 12s. All right. Next two. Peer pressure, grade 8. Okay. John chapter 5, 1 to 17. Pick your age. What do you want it to be? Find out what it is. You decide. Your group, Good Samaritan, grade 3. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. The Good Samaritan, grade 3. What did I say? John 5, 1 to 17. 1 to 17. Did I give you peer pressure? What did I give you? Obedience. What did I give you guys?
Peer pressure and grade.
And you guys had obedience? Okay. Last group, fasting, grade 1. All right. I'll give you. If you can change it, you can change age if you want. I think grade 1 you can change it. Okay. I'll give you 12 minutes. Good. Hook, look, book, and took. The ones at home want to do something? Yeah, give the ones at home one. Here, let me find. Hold on. Let me get my list. Well, your obedience grade 12. Obedience grade 3. Way back. Just went to the bathroom. Here, let me give you. Yeah, that PowerPoint, the Jeopardy onto the Moodle.
I don't have an.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah, I think I can.
Yeah?
If I can, I'll ask someone.
Yeah, maybe do it now, because we can do it now, like we can do it right now while we're here, that we won't forget.
So that people can access it online.
Yeah, like she, what if I probably add it to the Moodle?
That I don't know.
Oh, so, okay, how, where can we put it then?
To put it in a WhatsApp group.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that'll, will it fit? Stop sharing for a second. So here it is.
Where is it saved?
Here, I'll close it. It's right here. There's the template of 14 meg.
Can you send it to me on WhatsApp?
Here, okay, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, the WhatsApp here. I just drag it across.
Oh yeah, that works. Yeah.
No, it didn't like that. If I opened it. Close.
No, that's a judge now.
What's the template? Template, there it is.
Template now?
Yeah, here it is. I said I'll do it this way. Plus document desktop. New template.
Oh, but I'm just thinking about it. Won't they have the answers at the other PowerPoint?
What do you mean?
They'll have the answers, right? Aren't the answers on here?
No, but that's okay because it's just a template. Like they can add their own questions and answers, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted them to play right.
No.
Right now.
No. I just want to share with them if they want to use it. There. Okay, you got it.
Got it.
Okay, perfect.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Look is like a deeper look at the scripture or the meaning or what it is you want them to take. So the look is the interpretation. Like how does this Bible verse relate to your story? To what you want them to take away. Okay.
You know if we're gonna go into six because my sister's like half an hour away. She's wondering if it's worth coming.
We'll go probably till, I think, yeah, we're gonna start this in 5 minutes. It'll take about, we'll be close to 6. But she'll be here 15 minutes if she comes now. I don't know if it matters. Tell her not, it doesn't make sense. Five minutes? 5 minutes? 5 minutes? Good? 6 minutes. 5 minutes? You're done? 5 minutes. Okay, please. 5 minutes? Good? You're going 3. What do you mean? What? What do you need help with? What's going on?
So we have our hook.
This is for fasting? For grade 1? Okay.
We have our hook to do a little skit thing.
Nice.
And then we're gonna lead into the book by talking about how fast is fighting against sin and temptation.
Okay.
And talk about Jesus in the wilderness.
Nice.
And then how he did that. And then why does this matter? Because self-control, and then for the book, we're thinking of teaching them like 2 verses of the Psalm from Lent, where it talks about like prayer and fasting, so and so did this. Prayer and fasting, so and so did that.
Yeah.
But we're just the details. Do we have to do it?
No, it's a mini lesson.
So we don't have to like.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I think you'd be okay. Yep. You have a hook. Yeah, you have like if you had more time, you could like this is a good skeleton for a lesson, right? I think you're okay. Describe the fine. You can describe it. Fine. There's two there.
Very much, very, very strong.
There's six there, I think. There's three.
I don't have anyone.
Okay, you find you ready?
Yes.
You got a hook? You got it good to go? Okay, you ready? Can we start? Who's over there? Okay, guys, listening. We're gonna get started. I only gave you one of these. Reuse it. I didn't make lots of. I'm trying to save paper. So reuse and try to answer the questions. So you can stand if you want. You can stay where you are if you want. We're waiting for you to take about 5 minutes. 5 to 8 minutes. All right. Mini lesson. Amazing. Okay, you guys ready to go? All right, first group. So tell us what your topic is, and then go ahead.
We got obedience for grade 12.
Okay. Remember, guys, try to fill this out. Go ahead.
Is this like talking boys or girls?
You decide.
Okay, boys. Okay, boys. Today we have. Okay, so today we're gonna start off with a story. Okay. So once upon a time, in the Wadi of Notre monastery, okay, there was a monk named John the Short. Okay, John the Short. All right, and he had an elder monk. Okay, and so the elder monk's job was to take his young disciple and teach him the ways of monasticism. Okay, so one day came along the elder monk named Al Bemwa. He wanted to take the younger monk and he wants to test him and see if he was following the ways of monasticism. All right, so he told him. So he took him out of the monastery, a long walk, 18 miles away from the monastery. Okay, and he stopped and he took his stick and stuck it into the ground and he's like, John, Abba John, I want you to water this plant every day. Okay? So Abba John decided, okay, I'm gonna follow my Abba's teachings, and every single day he used to walk 18 miles into the desert. It is said that he used to leave when it was dark and come back in the morning. So he used to leave at night, come back in the morning. Every day he'd go walk all the way to this plant, fill it, water it, come back, water it, come back. Okay, so he did that for 3 years. Okay, I want us to do an exercise, 18 miles for 3 years. Who can do the exercise?
Mm.
Come on, guys, what?
No way.
Who can calculate how many miles that is?
How many miles?
Who has the calculator on their phone?
18 miles. Oh, I don't remember.
365 times 3 times 18. There and back. So 18 times 2.
36 times. Is the whole thing times 2.
39,420. I want you guys to think about that. 39,420 miles. Okay. And then, so after 3 years, through the blessing of what? What's the word? Or what's the word that for what Abba John did?
I know. Obedience.
Obedience.
What?
So Abba Benwa gathered all the monks at this monastery. He took them to this plant, which then became a tree through the blessing of obedience. And he taught all the other brothers. He said, "This is the fruit of obedience."
Nice.
Okay. Does anyone know what do you think we're? So what do you guys think we're gonna talk about today?
Obedience.
Obedience. Okay.
Well, that's just one of the many stories that we know about obedience from the church fathers or even from the Bible. But today we're going to talk about Noah. So we all know Noah's story, but I'll just give a quick summary. So one day, Noah was very, very old, and one day God spoke to him, told him build an ark. So obviously Noah didn't question God. He rose up, he gathered his family, they gathered the wood, and he listened to God every single thing he told him. But he got the gopher wood, he got his family, he tried gathering everyone in the city, it didn't work. But Noah still persevered, he obeyed God, and he built the ark. Even though, why would they build an ark? It doesn't rain that much. It's not gonna flood. They can just, if it rains, they can just go to their homes, shelter. But he listened to God. So he built the ark. And even though it might have been hard for him, or everyone was telling him you're foolish, it's not gonna be a flood and all that, he still persevered and built it. And he might have not understood why he was doing it in the moment, but he understood that God had a plan for him and his family.
Okay, guys. So we have 4 points that we want to discuss. Should we read the story of Noah or?
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, you guys all know the story of Noah. Okay, so we have 4 points we want to discuss. Okay, the first point. Okay. Does anyone have any ideas, or what are some points? We want some interaction here. Does anyone have some ideas, some things that they can take from Noah's story and put it into their real life today? Come on, guys. Patience. That's a good one. Obedience, yes. But what about the obedience was special in the time of Noah? What about it was unique? There's a lot of cases of obedience. Yes, yes. Good. So that's our first point. So our first point is that it was a wild thing to do, like build an ark in the middle of like bro, it's nice. It rains once a month. Like it's fine. Like build an ark. So it's a wild request. Exactly. Exactly. So the people around him might have been thought that he was a fool. What are you doing? But he in his mind he was following God's word, and that's something we can take into today. That although you might be walking into a path that other people in your age might not be walking in, and they might look at you and be like, "Whoa, man, this guy he's not taking the normal path. He's a fool in a way." But we want to say that what we take from Noah is that although people thought he was doing was a weird thing, what he did ended up being what saved him and his family and saved his life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we can talk about in you in grade 12. You guys have a bunch of different things coming at you guys, and the way that the church wants you to move might be kind of unique and might be kind of weird, but that's the way that's going to end up saving your life. Another point.
Another thing we can take away from this is he did it even though people are going against him, but also he didn't understand either. He just listened. He didn't know there was going to be a huge flood until God just told him build an ark, there's going to be a flood. But Noah, he understood something was going to happen, but he didn't question it at all. He said, "Okay, master, I'll do it. Like just for you, I'll do everything." And in a way, he wasn't only serving him and his family, or he didn't do it for just the people around him. He did it for God. He did it so he can serve God by serving the people around him. So that's another thing when you think about obedience. Usually, most of the time when your parents ask you to go clean your room or go mow the lawn, you're like who cares? Like the grass will grow. But you have to understand your parents are in the image of Christ, and when you obey them, you're also obeying God. So we can see an example of that in Matthew 25:35. And the verse is when I was hungry, you fed me, when I was naked, you clothed me, in that order. So and we can see that when you serve other people, you're not only serving them or yourself, you're serving God. So I think it's very important to remember that service or obedience is,
Although it might be your servants or your mom or
yeah,
or who not telling you to do it, at the end of the day, it's not about them, it's about you and God. What's another point?
There's a lot of things that the church wants us to do. Who can think of an example of something that the church wants a grade 12 to do that the public society might give me on? Yes. What? Fasting. Yeah, fasting is like something unique. Like you people in general don't understand what fasting means, right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So we need to, yeah, that's, yes. And there's other things that we might not even have, like you might just be told to do it and you might not understand why, right? Those are times when you go out and you should go do your own research and find out why I should do it, so that you're not just doing it because someone told you to do it. You're doing it because you want to do it. You're doing it out of love. And so that brings us to another verse I want to talk about, 1 John chapter 5, when God said, "If you love me, obey my commandments." Right? So these commandments, we don't just obey them for no reason. We obey them to show our love for Christ. And if you don't understand the commandment, how are you doing it out of love? So you have to go out of your way to understand the commandment, understand why we fast, understand why we do this, that is different, so that through it, we can build our love towards Christ and show Christ how much we love him. And I think that's who, sorry?
I like to choose who I cannot obey. Like I'm not gonna obey anyone. I'm not gonna obey my friend told me to do something.
Exactly. Yes. We have to know who we're talking to all the time, who we're trying to model our lives after.
All right, amazing.
Good.
Okay, next group. You're by yourself? What? Go up there. Go stand with her.
Honestly, God.
What? You by yourself? You by yourself?
Of course, you got it.
It's a whole presentation.
You got it. I thought you were prepared.
We did it together.
I
Come.
thought you said you were prepared.
We did it together. Come.
Yeah. I told you to use ChatGPT. And what did you choose to do? What did you choose to do?
Come up with the internet.
You chose not to use ChatGPT. Now, we're stuck on doing the lesson. See that?
Okay, what's the lesson here?
Oh, what's the
You guys
lesson?
know the lesson? The pressure.
Peer pressure, peer pressure. What's going on?
Everyone was so real for that.
What's going on?
That was so nice, everyone. Okay, so obviously that was our hug.
Yep.
So the book that we chose is Luke 10 verses 25 to 37. So basically it's the Good Samaritan story. Does anyone want to present or explain what the story is about? Grade 8.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So one time there was a man and he was walking on the road. So I say the story? So one
Do
time
it quick, yeah.
there was
Quick.
a man and he was walking on the road and he got mugged and he got robbed and they beat him up and they left him there to die. And then, so a bunch of people walked by that road. The first person to walk by was
A Levite?
a priest?
A priest or a Levite? I can't remember.
Priest, and he looked at him. He's like, "Oh, he made up an excuse," and he walked by. And then another person walked by, and he made up an excuse and left him. And another person came, and that was a good Samaritan. And he came and he took him, even though he wasn't supposed to because he's Samaritan, he still helped him, and he took him to a place where he can get better, and he paid for his rent and stayed with him.
Very good. Good story. High five. Yeah. Great job.
So is everyone clear on the lesson? Okay, so basically, how can we apply peer pressure to this story? Can you guys think of ways where we can apply peer pressure?
The other people left him alone. Why
No
didn't
one's that
he?
creative?
He left him alone too. Like, he didn't leave him.
I think that the first thing, you wanna have.
Why did they leave him?
Because they have something to do.
They have something to do, but what is like the point of leaving her? Like they could have easily helped him a bit and then left.
Yeah, but someone else did it, someone else will help them.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. So no one else wanted to help him. Is there any other ideas we can get from you guys? No, nothing? How I saw the story personally, okay, how I saw the story is that these guys were disgusted by the look. And literally back then, it was like a thing where like, we don't touch the dirty. We leave the dirty. And it was just like it was like a societal thing that we can't touch him or like we can't help them, right? And we see that the Good Samaritan did not listen to what society said. And a big peer pressure that applies to all of us is how society is pressuring us to do things that the Bible is very opposite and what they teach. And I found that as a very good example.
Okay, so another way to see it is, sorry, 1 second. So yeah, as Joseph was saying, it's like a social norm of like at that time where like if something's like dirty, like you don't like associate with it. But also another way that I thought about it was like in their heads, like I'm sure they had like a conscience of like good pressure and saying like maybe you should like pull over and help, but they still like didn't listen to that conscience that they were having in their mind. So
you apply that to today, like can you apply an example, but didn't want to have an example for it? No one? Wow. Give me an example of today in this day and age where we can be peer pressured to things. Cheating on tests. That's a very good one. Where can you explain that? That's a very good one. And actually, for a fact, like when we go into class and we see our friends cheating, we have that norm of, oh, it's fine. Like it's not that serious. I'm just gonna cheat, and it's not the end of the world. But honestly, like it's a pretty serious factor, and the Bible strictly goes against it. And that was a very good example, Mikey. Good job.
okay, so basically what we want you guys to take away from this is to be like a leader in this scenario, and it's also very important for individuals to prioritize. Anyway, it's very important for individuals to prioritize what God has taught us and not what society taught us. So with the first two that walked by and didn't stop, like I'm sure God taught us to always like be helpful and like always be there for his people, and they just didn't listen to that. Just thought about like what society like thought of in that moment.
All right, thank you. Good job, guys. Yeah. Good hook too. Yeah, you had us all hooked for reading as well. All right, next group. Sure. Yeah. I don't know which one. You guys go. Sure.
Okay, you go.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Good.
Today احنا بنعمل paralyzed for grade 1, okay?
Paralyzed everyone. Okay.
Can you see the signs of cross?
Yeah.
Right hand up, right hand up. Okay. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Today we have a very wonderful story. But this is Kiro. Hi Kiro. How are you? What are you doing, Kiro?
Playing with my toys.
Okay, good. Can you clean up?
What? I'm still playing, Mom.
No, can you clean up now?
Mom, I'm playing.
Okay, it's time to finish and clean up. Tidy up.
Later.
No, right now.
Mom.
Stop.
You always make me clean.
Yeah, you have to. You are the one making the mess. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna help you. Okay, come. Good job, Kiro. Can you clap your hands for Kiro? Wow. So what did he do right now? He cleaned his toys. Who cleaned his toys after he played? Who? Can you
Kiro did.
Nobody cleaned his toys? انتوا بتلعبوش خالص?
Kiro
Good
cleaned it.
job. So Kiro, after he finished, he tidy up. But what he's doing, he's helping Mama, right? So I want to tell you a story today. How Jesus helped a paralyzed man. What? Paralyzed man? What does mean paralyzed man? Does someone know what does mean paralyzed man? Nobody knows? لا احنا انت grade 1.
Grade
You are
1.
grade 1. Okay?
Yeah. I don't know paralyzed. Yeah. What does paralyzed mean?
Just like think that you are paralyzed. Grade 1. So paralyzed man, can you sit? Don't move. Don't move your hands. Don't move your legs for 1 second. That's it. No, this man is sit on. لا sleep. So this paralyzed man sits on or sleep on the floor, can't move his hand, can't move his legs for a long time. You know how many years? 38 years. What? 38 years? How many? It's a long time. Like not 10, not 20, not 30. It's 38 years. And someone after me, how many years?
38 years.
How many years?
38 years.
Okay. This paralyzed man is sitting closer to a pool. This pool, every month, the angel come, move the water, and the first one jump in this water, not healed. But this paralyzed man didn't find someone help him at all. Every time he tried to jump and move and ask and begging someone, please help me, and nobody helped him. But someone came and helped him. Do you know who?
Jesus.
So Jesus came. Let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, take up your bed and walk.
What did you say, Jesus?
Take up your bed and walk.
What happened? Help the paralyzed man, guys. See, Jesus helped and healed the paralyzed man. So helping each other is very important. So can someone tell me how we're gonna help at home or the daycare or the Bravo. Clean up the toys. And how are you gonna help mom at home?
Make my bed.
Yes, good job, good job. So today we learned that we have to help each other. Helping each other is very important, guys.
Good, Perez. Good job. Good job. Thank you. Okay, next group. Yeah.
Who's gonna drop some?
What are we gonna do?
Excellent job. Good acting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whoa, what happened here?
Whoa.
Somebody took something.
Uh-huh.
How are you? How are the kids today? How are you guys? You guys
Good.
Good. Now, what happened? What did you just see?
Someone stole something.
Somebody stole something. That's right. And not only did they steal something, something else happened.
Mm.
Now, if you're in school and you see this, would you tell the other person or would you not say anything, keep it a secret? You have to tell them. You have to let them know what happened. In this story about the Good Samaritan, there was someone who had gotten themselves into a problem, but everybody that was passing by ignored them, except for one person decided to do the right thing. And they came and they helped. So you as kids, when you see something in school or someone taking something, what do?
Tell someone.
You tell somebody. You tell them. Or you tell that person, hey, you dropped something, pick it back up. That's yours. So the story here that we're teaching you today is to be honest and to tell the truth. Don't hide anything because it could happen to you. So kids, if you have any question, if there's anything, please.
What is the difference for which grade?
3 years old. 3 years old. Yeah, we just-
Good.
Like, what did they see and stuff?
You did act it though. You did a good job.
They don't want to act the story. And
Oh, no.
explaining the story to them and get them to like tell us what they saw.
Yeah, we're in time
And
constraint.
then-
It's fine.
And then kind of like tie it to school.
Got it. This is good though.
It's very because, for example, like my daughter, because she's grade 1, if she finds a toy on the church, it's interesting the toy, right? And she might say, "Mommy, I like it so much. Can I keep it?" I said, "No." The other kids, for sure, looking for it and crying because you lost it. If you lost your toy, you will not be happy, right? So she understands, I'm out of the question.
It's nice. It's a good example.
Thank you. Who's next?
Any question? Oh, is it done? Amazing. Thank you. All right. So, guys. Okay. Yep. All right.
Don't forget the little microphone.
Let's go. Yeah. You like that?
You don't have to. It's fine.
So, just as a background, imagine that I have a presentation up and pictures are gonna come up. Okay? Great. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about fasting for grade 2. Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm gonna show you some pictures. I want you guys to tell me whether this food is either fasting or not. So, can we eat this particular thing during the fast? So, ice cream would come up. Is it fasting or
No,
not?
not fasting.
No. Okay. Beans comes up. Is this
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Chicken burger.
No.
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 So as you guys can see, there's some stuff that we can eat during the fast and some stuff that we can't eat during the fast. But why?
So during the word fast actually stands for something. Can anyone guess what it might stand for? Each letter is a word. Yeah. Yeah. You could
Well,
think of it that way. Does anyone have a
It's
guess?
a made up thing. It's to help folks.
Yeah. To remember, yeah.
It's not real, yeah.
What do we usually do? Okay, food maybe. What do we usually do when we fast? Pray. Okay, that's a good one. I'm probably not gonna get it. Okay, I'll just say what the acronym is. So the word fast, if you want to remember, stands for fighting against sin and temptation. So don't clap. This is something they taught me when I was little. Fighting against sin and temptation. So when we fast, it's not only the food that we're not eating, but we're making a plan so that we can resist temptation, so that we do not sin, and so that we can get better. So how can we do that? So can anyone think of a Bible story where somebody fasted? Jesus, Jonah, Nineveh? Yeah, Jonah. Okay, we got, what's your name? Hero said a great example, because who better to learn about fasting from, especially from Jesus. So we're gonna look at a story from Matthew chapter 4, where Jesus, he was in the wilderness, which is like the desert, really dry and warm and not a good condition. He was in there for 40 days and 40 nights without food or water. If you were in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights without food or water, would you be really hungry or not very hungry?
Yeah, very hungry.
Very hungry, right? So because he was very hungry, you would think that if he was tempted to eat something, he might just go ahead and eat it. But no, he was fasting. So the devil in the wilderness tries to tempt Jesus 3 times. And from each time, we learn something that we can do while we're fasting. So the first time he's tempted, Jesus says, sorry, where's the verse? Yeah, so the first time he is tempted, he says, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." So during our fasting, one thing we have to do is to read our Bible during the fast so that we can grow and fight against sin and temptation. The second time Jesus is tempted, he says that you shall not tempt the Lord your God. So again, he's saying that through God's power, he doesn't want to be tempted and he will not be tempted. So we have to read our Bible and we have to use that to resist temptation. And the third time he's tempted, he says, I can't find the verse. He says, you shall only worship the Lord your God, and him you shall serve only. Does anyone have an idea what this last one might want us to do? It says again, I'll read it one more time. You shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. Any ideas?
Maybe like see what I'm spending a lot of time on.
Is this a grade 2 answer?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a grade 2.
Yeah. There's two things from it that you can find.
God is the most important.
Exactly. God is very important. And especially during the fast, you can spend more time with him. So you can talk to him, you can pray to him, you can come to church more often. And it says, and only him you shall serve. It's calling us to do something, to do an action. So during the fast, we can help our family around the house or anything that we can do to help others. We can do that. And when we do that for others, we are serving God. So that's the book. Okay. So why does this matter? Does anyone know what the word self-control means? No? No, that's a good answer. So self-control means that, for example, I'm really hungry and it's the fast and I'm not supposed to be having a burger, but there's a burger there and I can just eat it because I'm hungry. Is self-control eating the burger or not eating the burger?
Not eating the
Not
burger.
eating the burger. So self-control means that you have control over yourself. That means you can tell what to do with your body when it comes to something like eating something that you shouldn't, or saying something that you shouldn't, or doing something that you should not do. So that is the biggest part of the fast is having self-control. Why might self-control be important? What's the point of having self-control, especially when it comes to food? Makes me feel stronger, yeah. The other grade 2 answers. To not sin, okay. So for example, when I'm tempted by something and I just give into it, how does that make me feel? Makes me feel
Bad.
bad, yeah. So eating is a small part of how we can have ourselves be more controlled. Eating is something that everybody does, and it's very small. If we can control the small, then we can control the big. So if we start by controlling what we eat, then we can control what we say, and we can control what we do. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, here you go.
How much time do you have?
You almost done. Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to take too long, but for the ending of the lesson, what we're going to do is we have a small part from the midnight praises where it says Elijah shut the heavens for 3 years and 6 months through prayer and fasting. The clouds did not rain. And then we're gonna have the kids repeat that as the takeaway.
Amazing. Okay. Okay, friends. Look at that. Thank you. So when you follow this, when you follow this, it doesn't actually take that long, and the lessons are actually quite fun, right? It really is a good formula for when we prepare, and again, not just Bible study lessons, but any lesson. And so you keep that in mind as you move forward. It's something that we use all the time, and I teach it to when the kids do Sunday sermons. I show this to anyone who's starting to teach new. I show them this slide. It's a big one. I think we're done. It's been a quick 4 weeks. We've talked a lot about many different things about ministry design. And remember, I'm going to end with what I started with. The number one thing is prayer, right? Everything is foundation is rooted in prayer. Pray for your service, pray for your kids. Before every lesson, pray that God speaks for you. After every lesson, thank God for the lesson, right? We own no part of it. We are just a tool in God's hands, right? And our job is God's using us to make disciples. That's what our purpose is, right? And we own none of it. None of it is ours. It's all for the glory of God, right? So thank you all. Is there anything else or no? Okay, well, how does that work? I don't have that.
So there's a link that's sent on the cohort 2024 group. If you guys can just log in, it'll take about 5 minutes of your time just to evaluate how we're doing. Course material, the features and the resources that you guys have. You guys just take 5 minutes and that's created.
Okay, that'll be your exit ticket. Do that, then you can go. All right. Thanks, everyone. It's been a great 4 weeks. Really fun. Thank you. It's been really fun. Spread the word. 1 minute.